Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. We have a few saws here to look at. I've got this 028, 038, 038, 038. These four, there's no rush for. So when we're through the rest of them, we will come back to these. I have an 034 with a running issue. I have a 261 that won't start, and a 250C that won't start. Let's start with the 250C. I'll see you at the bench. Good morning and welcome back to my workbench. Today we have this Stihl MS250C. So you have MS250s and you have 250Cs. This is the Easy Start version. I'll show you more about that when we go outside. This is a 45cc homeowner class saw. And the customer says it won't start. That's it. That's all I know. Before I get started on this MS250, there's just a couple updates I want to let you know about. So about maybe a week and a half ago, I did a video about a Stihl 026. This girl here. So in the video, we discovered the piston was scored. It had some carburetor issues. I've spoke to the customer and she has given me the go-ahead to rebuild the saw with aftermarket parts. So I'm going to order the parts and then we're going to rebuild the saw and put it back into service. So that'll be a video upcoming in probably a couple weeks. So keep an eye out for that. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe, my husband Tyler did a video on a Stihl 024. This one here. So we are going to do a quick and dirty rebuild on this saw. This is our saw. And we're going to put this back together and we're going to hand it over to one of our commercial wood cutting guys and tell him to run the snot out of it. And we'll see how it holds up. One more thing to touch on. I did an MS250 video about a week and a half or so ago, and I'm still getting lots of response and questions about that chainsaw and the way it ended. That was the one that was hard to start and would jerk the handle out of your hand. So a lot of you may not know that I am doing this work in a live running shop. So I'm out here sometimes early in the morning, sometimes late at night, sometimes in the middle of the night, trying to do the filming while the shop is closed. During the day, it's very hard in here. Door opening, phone ringing, people coming and going. There's staff here. And I have children running around here as well. So you're going to see the good. You're going to see the bad. I'm going to miss things. I'm going to forget things. Nothing's perfect. And I'm going to do the best I can. Let's get to the 250. So customer says it won't start. So let's give it a quick visual check here. So chain is way too loose. Plastics, handles. Looks to be in pretty good condition. Chain brake's working. In this model, I can shine my flashlight into here and I can see the spark arrestor and it is clear and not plugged. So the spark arrestor is not the problem. I'll check his fuel, see if there's fuel in it or what his fuel looks like. Just pull a little sample out from the bottom of the tank. Looking mainly for signs of water. Just little bits of dirt, but nothing unusual. I don't see any signs of water. I'm going to take this saw out and just see if I can get it to start, see how it's acting, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll meet you outside. I'm going to tension this chain first. So this saw, the chain tensioner works a bit differently than the other saws I've showed you. So this saw doesn't have the bar nuts that you're used to seeing. This is called a toolless chain adjuster. So I'm going to unset my brake to do this. So this is basically like one big bar nut. So I'm going to just loosen it off a bit. Now up here, this is what you use to tighten it and loosen the tension. So I'm going to hold my bar up. I'm going to push this forward until I have the tension that I want. That looks good. And then I'll tighten this back down. That looks better. Okay, it's pouring rain outside, so I'm just going to open the big shop door right here, and I'll see if I can get this thing to start. I'll meet you at the door. This saw has a primer bulb. It sounds like it wants to start. Started no problem. Okay, so this MS250C started up without any problem. You can see how nice these easy starters are. You just slowly pull, and very, very nice to use. So all he said was it wouldn't start. I'm not sure what went wrong here. Maybe he had it in the off position. I've seen that before. Maybe it was flooded. I guess I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'll just give it a little look over, check the air filter, check the spark plug, and there isn't going to be too much to this one, I don't think. Let's take the air filter cover off. Air filter has a little bit of stuff on it, but it doesn't look too bad. Let's take the air filter out. Yeah, it's fairly clean. We'll give it a little cleaning out. There's the winter shutter. And we'll take the spark plug out and have a look. Sorry, just had to take a phone call there. A question about whether his carburetor that's full of rotten fuel was under warranty. And the answer was no. Okay, spark plug is black and fouled up. Probably, I'm thinking he flooded it. The 250s, when you have them on choke and you pull them over, it's hard to hear that pop that tells you to take it off choke. And if you miss that and you pull it over a few more times, it's very easy to flood the saw. And that's probably what happened here. So I'm going to put a fresh plug in this, clean that air filter up. It's fairly clean. And when he comes to pick it up, I'll go over this, just the basic starting procedure with him. And I don't think there's anything much wrong here. Let's put a new plug in it. NGK BPMR7A. $20 thou. The gap is perfect. Put the winter shutter back on. And his air filter, nothing wrong with it. I just gave it a good cleaning. Looks almost like new. Right. Put the cover back on. I don't know how old his fuel is, how long this has been sitting. I don't really know how much he uses the saw. So just as a precaution, I'm going to dump his fuel out, put my fresh fuel in it. I'll fire it up one more time, make sure everything is working properly, and then we'll move on to the next chainsaw. It's nice and clean in there. The fuel line looks good. The fuel filter looks new. So I'll put some fresh fuel in it and we'll go fire it up. I'll just take a quick peek in the bar oil. Yeah, there's lots of it in there. I wiped that off first. Not a bad idea to kind of wipe the cap off first to try to prevent, gobs of sawdust and stuff from falling in there. It's really hard to keep things from falling in, but if you can, I just kind of wiped it off before I went in. Let's go start it one more time and see how it starts and see how it runs. I'll see you over by the door. Turn it on. So I think our problem here was it was flooded, probably from trying to start it too many times in the choke position, not hearing that pop. So replaced the fouled spark plug, cleaned his air filter. I drained his fuel out. His fuel has not a real good smell to it. It's probably been sitting for a while. So fresh fuel. You see me start it. It starts excellent. It runs excellent. Just you got to have it in the on position to start it, as you've seen there. I do make mistakes. So the case is closed on the MS250C. I know that wasn't very exciting. Some of them are easy. Some of them are hard. You never know what's coming on the bench next. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you for watching.